Hey everyone, today we're talking about Workflow Manager certificates. I've seen a lot of questions about this. If you generate a certificate using the automatic option, it only lasts 1 year. Even if you create it through IAS, it's still just 1 year. But don't worry, there's a way to create a certificate that's valid for more than 1 year using a local Microsoft Certificate Authority. In this video, I'll show you exactly how to do that for your Workflow Manager in SharePoint. Let's assume that you've already installed Workflow Manager and its components, and now you're ready to configure it. When you launch the configuration wizard, you'll see 3 options. First option, configure Workflow Manager with default settings. If you choose this, it will automatically set up Workflow Manager using default values. This gives you very limited flexibility to customize the configuration based on your requirements. Second option, this allows you to manually configure the Workflow Manager. You can set things like certificate types, database names, and other custom options. Third option, use this if you've already set up Workflow Manager on another server and want to join this instance to an existing farm. For this video, I'll go with the second option, so I can show you how to manually configure a certificate, specifically one with a validity period longer than 1 year. On the configuration window, first provide the database server host name or IP address and click test connection. Make sure the test passes before moving forward. In the configure service account section, enter the service account credentials. This account should have the necessary permissions to create the workflow databases on the database server. Now comes the main part of this video, the certificate configuration. If you select the auto generate certificate option, you'll need to enter a password for the private key. But keep in mind, auto generated certificates are only valid for 1 year. Uncheck the auto generate option. Now you'll see the option to browse and select an existing certificate from the system. For a quick workaround, you can create a self-signed certificate directly from IAS. Open IAS Manager. Go to the server certificates section and on the right panel, click create self-signed certificate. Give it a friendly name. In this example, I'll name it Workflow Certificate. Once created, it's automatically installed and trusted by the local system and IAS. However, there's a catch. Even self-signed certificates from IAS are only valid for 1 year, just like the auto-generated ones. So I'll delete this self-signed certificate now. Instead, I'll show you how to create a certificate with a validity of more than 1 year using Microsoft Active Directory Certificate Services ADCS. This is my Active Directory domain controller and certificate authority server it, or simply the CA server. Open the certificate authority, right click and properties to check the validity period of CA. Click on view certificate. Here you can see the CA certificate is valid from 2025 to 2075. That's a 50-year validity. You cannot issue a certificate with a longer validity than your CA certificate. Now we need to make some changes in the Windows registry. H key, local machine, system, current control set services. Certificate service, configuration. Under the configuration, select the CA node. On the right panel, find the validity period and validity period units. Validity period must be in years. Modify the validity period units. By default, it is 2 years. Select decimal and change value data to your desired period. In my case, I will change it to 20 years. After making this change, Restart the Active Directory certificate services to apply it. Back in the CA console, right-click on Certificate Templates and click Manage. This opens the Certificate Templates console. From the list, find and select the Web Server template. This one is suitable for Workflow Manager. Right-click and choose Duplicate Template. In the new template window, go to the General tab, enter a display name. I will name it 20 years template. Set the validity period to 20 years. Go to the Security tab. Ensure authenticated users have read and enroll permissions. Grant full control to your admin user. Click OK to create the new template. 20 years certificate template is created. Now we will create the actual workflow certificate template using the same steps. It will inherit the same settings and permissions from this template. Once the template is created, go back to the CA console. New certificate template to issue and select recently created workflow certificate template. Now, workflow certificate template is issued to the CA. By using this template, we will create the certificate using Management Console. Open Management Console using MMC command. File, Add, Remove, Snap in. Select Certificates and Add. Select Computer Account. Local Computer. Select Certificates under the Personal section. All new task, request new certificate. Now we have a Active Directory enrollment. Since we've already issued the workflow certificate template, it should appear here. Select it and click on More information is required. Under the subject name type, select common name and value. Is your workflow server's fully qualified domain name? In general, enter your certificate's friendly name. In private key, we need to set the key options. Select Make private key exportable. We need this private key while installing or importing this certificate to the Workflow Manager server or system. Now select the certificate and enroll it. Now certificate is created and it is in PFX format. We need to export this certificate. All tasks. Export. Yes, export the private key must be selected. If you want to maintain the permission to specific group or users, you can define from here. I will continue with password only. Provide the certificate name and location to save it, and it will save it in PFX format. Copy this certificate to the Workflow Manager server or system. Okay, install certificate to this system. Local machine. Enter your password, which you have created during the exporting. Certificate store is personal. Certificate is installed as trusted certificate. To verify the certificate installation, open Management Console and look under the Personal and Certificates. certificate is installed too. Back to Workflow Manager configuration, you can see here the certificate validity period is Form 2025 to 2045. Select this certificate. Select Allow Workflow Management over HTTP on this computer. If you won't use HTTPS, you don't need to select this one. And make sure all the ports are open from firewall. This section is for service bus configuration. Same here, test the database connection. If you want different service account for service bus, create new one and enter here. Remember that the service account must have the database creation permission in database server. But I will continue with same account. These are the components and services we're going to install. Review it. If you want to change something, go back and change it and install. Workflow Manager is installed successfully with 20 years certificate. Let's check and verify the workflow farm. Service bus status and services condition running or not. Open PowerShell as administrator. Get WF farm status. Workflow service backend and front end is running. Get SB farm status. All the services are in running status. Let's check out certificate in IIS or web server. It is automatically installed on IIS and the valid up to 2045. Let's check the sites. Workflow management site is created. Is have two ports. HTTPS port is 12290 and HTTP port is 12291. Let's check and verify if Workflow Manager is working or not. Open browser as administrator, otherwise it will throw the permission denied issue or error. HTTPS and HTTP both are opened. Workflow Manager is working well. Thank you everyone for watching this video. If you have any question regarding this topic, please let me know in comment section. Your likes, subscribes and shares mean a lot to me. Thank you and keep supporting.